Vegeta and Nappa return, with Raditz also returning as well. Now with 3 potential villains on Earth, Vegeta, Nappa, and even Piccolo, there are some things that our protagonists have to look out for. However, it turns out that these 3 aren't going to be threats at all. If anything, there's some completely unexpected threats that nobody even knew of, except for Raditz. And with a visitor from the future, now the group must prepare. But what's going to happen from here on out? We'll be covering all that and more in this part 6 of What If Goku Had Bardock's Foresight. Future Goku stands there in this form. It doesn't look too much different from Super Saiyan, but they can immediately tell by the power that it definitely is something different. No wonder he unlocked it through rage. Goku reiterates, this was the form that allowed him to beat the androids. Of course, everybody back here in the past could actually seek out the androids right now, destroy them before they even become a problem. But just like what happened normally, especially since Goku and Raditz are probably going to be the ones to make the call here, they'll decide to leave the androids as is. It'll work as a great motivator, and on top of that, if they do get Super Saiyan 2, well that just tells them they'll be able to defeat the androids right away, even if it's only Goku that gets it. Future Goku powers down. He reminds them, he's much older than this other Goku. He has so many more years of experience behind him too. Not just that, but he knows how to utilize this form more. Of course, Super Saiyan 2 is powerful, and Goku recognizes that it might not be a surefire way to defeat the androids at this timeline, but he says it's still at least worth a shot. And Future Goku kind of expected this. I mean, it's himself that he's talking to after all. He knows how he's going to react. Well, he trusts that they're in good hands, especially because now they know about the androids. In a few years' time when the androids actually do awaken, he'll come back here too, just to make sure that everything's going okay. It's a way for him to actually confirm that the future will change if something does change here. And it also acts as reassurance. If they somehow can't defeat the androids, well, once Goku comes back, he should be able to. It was tough fighting both of them together, even with Super Saiyan 2, but fighting them individually, he should be able to handle that, especially now that he's going to spend a lot more time training, since they're not under threat in the future anymore. At least as far as he knows. There's still that weird premonition that they all had, but maybe they'll find out in due time, especially since Future Goku's working on crafting his premonition even further. If he knows exactly what to look for, he could do it. He is farther out after all. He didn't focus on it too much while he was fighting the androids. It's not like he really had the option, and when he did use it in fights, it helped him avoid significant attacks. And this tells present Goku too. It could be used for him in the way he was thinking, using it in battle short term, trying to figure out what opponents will do for their next move. It sounds vastly helpful. With Future Goku returning, we enter a brief time skip with everybody training. And in this time skip, with Vegeta and Bulma still getting together, Trunks is born. This is the person that Future Goku was hiding. He is alive in the future, but he just didn't want to mention it, for obvious reasons. The 4 Saiyans have especially been training hard. Vegeta and Nappa are becoming a little bit more cool-headed. It's not like they can do much anyways because Goku and Raditz are still above them, especially Goku. Raditz is eventually able to unlock Super Saiyan for himself. It takes a while, but they know to focus specifically on that. But he knows this still won't be enough if his future self is anything to judge by. And as for Vegeta and Nappa, they're doing their own thing. Goku even heard from his future self that Gohan apparently unlocks Super Saiyan in the future as well. He wonders how early he can unlock it here though. It might take a little bit more time. On the day the androids are supposed to arrive, the group is ready to encounter them. And of course, Future Goku does return. This time with 2 extra friends, Gohan and Trunks. It takes them a bit to realize that it's Trunks, since Future Goku never did mention him, but it's interesting to see that he's actually one of the survivors there. But also the fact that they're seeing an older Gohan. Future Gohan was mentioned, but seeing him in person is another thing. Future Goku says he brought these 2 just in case, and because they kinda did want to see this past timeline, especially Trunks wanting to see Vegeta. Although, Vegeta's still Vegeta, so he's not really the type to want to bond with his son or whatever. Oh well, Trunks has to at least see him. Just get to know him at least. The most surprising thing is that 19 and 20 are the first to show up. They are easily defeated, I mean especially with the group here, and the fact that Goku's not going to fall to the heart virus, it's not going to be too tough. The most confusing thing to these 2 is the fact that there's 2 Gokus. The second Jiro sees this, he immediately tries to escape. He's defeated but uses 19 as a distraction, commanding him to self-destruct. This allows Jiro to slip away, getting back to his lab, activating 17 and 18. With these 2 on his side, he'll be able to win. At least, until they kill him. They track him down relatively quickly, with Future Goku confirming that these are the 2 androids that he faced in his timeline. He doesn't know why those other 2 appeared, and that does concern him. It shows that the timeline has changed a bit, and he reminds them of the power that was needed to defeat these 2 androids. But the present fighters say they still want to face them. That's why they waited in the first place. Future Goku still does want to be safe rather than sorry, but he does tell them they can go for it. Future Gohan and Trunks are a bit surprised to hear this, but Future Goku reminds them. In the event that there is an issue, they could just jump in and they know that they should be able to defeat the androids, especially with how much the androids are outnumbered. Just like the androids in the main story, these are a bit stronger, but not by a significant amount. With how many strong people we have in this group right now, especially with the Future Warriors here, they might all stand a chance. If Future Goku sees anybody faltering, he'll join in and finish this. He doesn't want to have any deaths here. And Future Gohan's on standby as well. Present Gohan's already met his future self, and he really wants to see how strong his future self is. All the present warriors power up, with Goku and Raditz at the forefront. They showcase Super Saiyan, with Vegeta and Nappa laughing. They've been waiting to showcase this. They've recently unlocked this form as well, with the 2 of them standing beside each other, powering up into their own Super Saiyan form. Goku and Raditz are going to fight against Android 17, while Vegeta and Nappa will face Android 18. The 2 2v1s commence. And even with Super Saiyan, Vegeta and Nappa are having a tough time. They're still pretty far behind Goku and Raditz. And 18 is pretty powerful. The same goes for Goku and Raditz versus 17. Although they're faring pretty decently. This version of Goku is still a little bit above his normal self. And there's also the fact that he's even here fighting in general. With Raditz being around a similar strength, 17's actually having a tough time, while 18's not really having too difficult of a fight. Vegeta and Nappa are astounded. How are these low-class warriors so far ahead? The time travelers watch as the fight goes on. It's intriguing that Vegeta and Nappa were able to get Super Saiyan here at least, but more so, they're surprised at the power of Goku and Raditz. Future Goku even comments that he wasn't that strong beforehand. Well, he was still training, but this Goku was definitely training more seriously knowing the threats here. And present Goku yells over to him. He wants to make a wager. If he wins this fight without having the future warriors intervene, he wants to fight his future self one-on-one. Future Goku laughs. He says that was inevitable regardless, but yeah, he'll accept that offer. 17's pissed that they're acting so casually, but that's because Goku and Raditz actually have this in the bag. With their combined full power, they're able to quickly destabilize Android 17. Just as a brief distraction, they then jump in to help Vegeta and Nappa. They are still having trouble with Android 18, and they're mad that the two brothers joined this fight, but at the same time kinda know that they need this. With the four of them fighting together, Android 18 is then completely defeated. 17 jumps back into the battle, but it's far too late now. With 4 Super Saiyans against him, he's defeated as well, with both androids dying to the Super Saiyans, and 16 never even being activated. Present Goku powers down, looking over at his future self, giving a thumbs up. And future Goku compliments all of them. He has to say, he's impressed. He knew that by giving them all this news, it would definitely give them a head start with power. But they exceeded his expectations. It's also interesting seeing his past self grow this strong. Unfortunately, they definitely haven't fixed any of their timeline yet. But it's okay. It's like they said, they just wanted to see if they could change the past. Bulma already put the work in for the time machine. Well, maybe they could still go to Namek or something, if they can end up finding the new one in general. The androids are already gone in the future, so Earth is at peace. It might be too late to restore everything. They already went through all that turmoil, and it's been so long since everybody's been gone. They've accepted their fate, but it was at least worth a shot to try and change the past. But they're not going to leave immediately. They still have a few things to do while they're here. For one, present Gohan goes up to his future self. He wants to see his power. He wants to see how strong he can grow, and if he can grow stronger sooner. Present Goku wants to see this power as well, with future Goku letting him on a little secret. Gohan actually might have surpassed him already. Wait, really? How? He hasn't even fought here. Goku says he's been training these two hybrid Saiyans to try and unlock Super Saiyan 2. Trunks trailed a bit behind Gohan because he is younger after all, and Gohan was actually one of the people training him too. Gohan actually unlocked Super Saiyan pretty early on, and once the androids were defeated, they worked together to achieve Super Saiyan 2. Future Gohan already saw what happened when his future was under threat once, and in case that happened again, he wanted to prevent it, with future Goku seeing his immense potential, and that's why present Gohan was so curious to see it. They don't really know much about how strong future Gohan is, or future Trunks for that matter. If Goku's gonna compare his strength with his future self, Gohan kinda wants to as well, even though the disparity will be a lot larger there. Future Goku says he has an idea. Well, if they want to do something quickly, they could use the Room of Spirit and Time. It's something that they did want to use in the future, as he's mentioned before. But they couldn't because the androids knew the location of it, and they didn't want anything bad happening with getting trapped in there or whatever. But here in this timeline, they could use it. He says the two Gohan should go in together. Maybe future Gohan could teach its past self to go Super Saiyan. And they actually really do like this idea, going into the Room of Spirit and Time together eventually. And one of the reasons future Goku suggests this is because not only will it be good for past Gohan, but he's also still worried about the other premonition he had. And he asks his past self and Raditz, have they seen that same monster again? Because he actually has. The visions are becoming clearer. He's getting a better image of what that monster is, which means he's probably right around the corner, figuratively and literally. He could appear at any moment, whoever he is. And Goku and Raditz confirm, they've seen the same exact thing. And future Goku says it's very strange that he's seeing this too, which means it must be some sort of threat in this timeline. And that makes him wonder, could it be a threat in his timeline as well? I mean, because if that threat exists here, it should be in his timeline theoretically too. They still have no clue what it is, but they do know that sometime soon, this monster will appear. But in the meantime, Goku wants to test his strength with his future self. Raditz says his future self is a bum for not surviving. He would have loved to prove that he's the superior Raditz. And future Goku's not surprised to see that his brother's the same way that he's always been. But as for fighting his past self, he'd love to do that. There's a brief passage of time, and sometime early the next day, after they get some rest, the two of them get ready to fight, with both powering up into Super Saiyan. Goku asks himself to use a Super Saiyan 2 form. Future Goku says he will, as long as Goku pushes him into it. Goku takes this as a challenge. The two start dueling, and it's incredible, the power that they're both showcasing, even present Goku. Future Goku's surprised that his past self is this powerful, but he could tell, he still hasn't completely mastered Super Saiyan yet. And Goku comments, he was on his way there, he's already had it in mind, trying to use it at 100% efficiency, but he still feels like he's a long way from Super Saiyan 2. And future Goku says he's not so sure. He knows about it now and knows what to aim for, so maybe he can achieve it. I mean, he's already getting the hang of Super Saiyan pretty well, almost at grade 4 even. Future Goku says he'll go in the time chamber with him as well if he wants to. And Goku says he'd love to. However, it might be better if he tries something on his own. Look how strong he's already gotten by being motivated like this. Sometimes the easiest way isn't the best way. Future Goku also kind of expected that response. He is talking to himself after all. As the two continue fighting, it's clear that Future Goku has the advantage, but Goku's not faltering. At least, until Future Goku goes Super Saiyan 2, completely wiping the floor with his past self. Goku's glad that he's finally showcasing this. And Future Goku's ready to land the finishing blow. But right as he's about to, there's a blinding flash of light. A solar flare. He thinks his past self launched it at him, but no. Present Goku's blinded too. The spectators watch on as someone else jumps in. And somehow while blinded, Future Goku's able to knock his past self out of the way, predicting an enemy attacking. He was too focused on the fight, he didn't even try to get any visions yet. And this one came to him at the right time. Imperfect Cell jumps in, trying to steal energy from Present Goku. But instead, his tail hits Future Goku. He didn't know what was going to happen either. Future Goku just knew that someone was going to get attacked, so he wanted to protect his past self. And unbeknownst to him, this makes things worse, because now Cell's getting even more power. He's getting the strongest warrior here. Trunks powers up jumping in, swinging his sword at Cell. And Future Goku's laying there on the ground. He tells Trunks to watch for the tail. And just as he says that, Cell lunges its tail out. And Trunks barely dodges it, but the tail flies right past him, hitting Present Goku, starting to steal his energy. Trunks is able to easily slice his tail off, with Cell screaming in pain, but it's fine. He immediately regenerates it. He thanks them for the power, and they ask who the hell he is. And Cell's unsure whether he should stay here or fight, but with the power that he just gained, he might be able to win, especially since 2 of the Gokus are knocked down. He simply asks where the androids are, and Raditz steps up, powering into Super Saiyan. He says he doesn't know or care who this ugly bastard is, but he'll entertain this question at least. The androids are dead. He's gonna have no luck in finding them because they already killed the androids. And Cell is fuming. He came back here for nothing. He thought the androids would still be around. That explains why Goku and Trunks are here. They're not supposed to be that old. At least not in this part of the timeline. Unless those two are time travelers as well. From a separate timeline, not the one where he stole his time machine from. He knew something was off immediately when he saw 2 Gokus. But he says it's fine. He'll just get some snacks here in the present, and then he'll just take his time machine somewhere else. Somewhere where he actually can find the androids. He'll have a little fun here while he's at it and then destroy the place. Raditz says he's not going to get that far, with Vegeta and Nappa then standing alongside the other 2 Saiyans, also powering up. And this surprises Cell. Vegeta and Nappa are still here, and they're Super Saiyans. Good for them, but that's not going to be enough. Not nearly. Especially with the boosted power that he has now, he's more than confident. The fight rages on, with both Gokus there on the ground, trying to get back up. Present Goku didn't get as bad because Trunks intervened, although he's obviously still pretty beat up because he was fighting himself. Future Goku really wants to help, but he doesn't have the strength right now. If he could intervene, he could definitely help here. They need to rely on Trunks. He's on the cusp of Super Saiyan 2. If he unlocks it here, they could probably win. Whoever this monster is, they could beat him. And he yells out to Trunks. He needs to harness that power, the same one that he was working for. And Vegeta tells him to not pay attention to that fool. Pay attention to the fight, and harness that anger he has. Does he want this timeline to be doomed as well? Does he want to die here? Future Goku watches on kind of annoyed because he was about to give Trunks the same advice. But you know what? It's probably good that he hears it from Vegeta too. And Trunks tries to summon more power, with Cell fending off everyone pretty easily. But some object then flies really quickly into Cell, coated by a golden orb. It moves so quickly that they couldn't even see it, with Cell being launched away. But then it becomes clear what it is. Actually, who it is. It's not an object. It's Gohan. Kid Gohan. He's a Super Saiyan. They just got out of the time chamber. Both Gokus are really glad to see this, and at the same time, Future Gohan arrives as well. He's glad to see everyone's okay, and sorry they took so long, but their training was successful, and he tells them that he could sense Trunks' power rising. So he looks over at Trunks, saying they're all going to finish this together, the 3 hybrid Saiyans. They could harness their anger all at once, and defeat whatever this monster is. Trunks nods, with Gohan also looking over at his past self. He tells him, get ready to utilize everything that he learned in the time chamber. Present Gohan's a bit nervous, but he nods. Future Gohan's the first to power up, surrounded by sparks of electricity, showing off that same Super Saiyan 2 form that Future Goku had. And Cell stumbles back, a bit surprised at the surge in power, and he tells the other 2, harness their anger, utilize it for the power that they need. He knows both of them are capable of it. He's trained both, and he knows them better than pretty much anybody, especially his past self. He knows they have the power in them to do this. The 3 all fight Cell together, and he can't keep up. Even Gohan alone would be a problem for him. But with the 3 of them together, he has no hope at winning, which is why Future Gohan sees this as perfect practice for the other 2. And he tells them, coordinate this attack with him. Cell launches towards them, but then is held in place by some rings of energy. Raditz used some of his strength to throw these over, trying to bind Cell for just a bit, and then there's a solar flare. Present Goku was barely able to perform this, and Cell is there, bound by Raditz's attack and blinded by Goku's. Future Gohan shouts, now's the time. Together, the 3 all charge a Masenko, a timeless Masenko, a powerful attack spanning both timelines, with 2 versions of Gohan. And at the very last second, there's a surge in power from Trunks. Those same sparks of electricity surround him. For a brief moment, he goes into Super Saiyan 2. And together, the 3 of them eliminate Cell, leaving nothing left, not even knowing about his regeneration. But it doesn't matter, he's completely gone now. Both Gokus are healed, glad that it turned out that way, and proud of both Gohans, and Trunks as well, with Vegeta surprised to see that Trunks got that powerful. Trunks still may have a tough time getting the form, but at least he knows he can attain it, even if he only got it briefly. And now, present Gohan's aiming for this too. He thinks he can accomplish it, and future Gohan thinks he can too. Together, he and Goku will work towards this. Hell, maybe even Raditz will try. They thank the future warriors, and the future warriors thank them. It seemed that Cell Guy wasn't too much of a threat. They were able to handle it pretty easily, even with the handicaps they were given. And now, the three warriors head home, knowing to watch for their own version of Cell as well, who they eventually encounter and defeat pretty easily. They might have not restored their timeline fully, but they saved another, and their Earth is still at peace. And more importantly, that present Earth will never know the destruction that they saw. The androids have all been stopped. But where do we go from here? This is where we'll leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next time as we move forward? Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you want to help with the channel and see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.